everything adds up there. You just act like you don't understand money.
The meeting, part 1.
Part of it is you can't say wasteful spending because we've cut. As John just said, we can't cut our way out of this. The council did a great job with doing new revenue. We have approximately $11.8 million in grant money that we still have to go and get. Hold on, you asked me a question, so I'm giving you an answer. So there's no way that we can have a backlog of bills and then not pay them off. I didn't create these backlog of bills. These backlog of bills, as you said, they came from, we have the waste management in there, that's $1 million. We have another $1 million in, what other costs? Blue Cross Blue Shield. So those are not increases that I created.
What we talked about.
Hold on, you asked me a question. We don't have more employees. Our healthcare costs, we put $6.5 million in our healthcare costs. We're probably at $11 million in healthcare costs.
Wait.
And we're going to have an explanation coming up at our next meeting about that. But these are backlog of bills, so please separate the backlog of bills. There's no wasteful spending. Republic Services is owed $1 million. Republic Services is owed $1 million. Blue Cross Blue Shield is owed millions of dollars. Those are healthcare costs that we have for our employees. And we had funds that underperformed last year. So you guys don't want to hear this, but John has the numbers.
It's not that we don't want to hear it. We spoke about this 2 years ago, about the hiring. And we talked about layoffs 2 budgets ago. Am I corrected? Finance Director Casper, did we urge layoffs and budget cuts through employment 2 years ago? We talked about this. So now here we are. We're punishing the taxpayers by way of saying, hey, we're going to do a revenue enhancement, but we're increasing fees. The water sewer fee, I get that. But the other fees, the food and beverage fees, we're taking that, they're taking the responsibility on our fiscal mismanagement. That's what this boils down to. We can spend it however we want to spend it, but right now we expect all of this spending of funds. Now we expect, and it's unfair to the taxpayers of the city, especially the ones who reside here, for us to expect our finance director, Casper, to work financial magic. It's embarrassing.
Well, it may be embarrassing, but let me tell you, there were 8 funds that underperformed. We budgeted $12.5 million for taxes. We got $11.8 million. That was almost $800,000 of taxes revenue that didn't come into the city. We also budgeted money for cannabis tax. We budgeted almost $700,000 for the cannabis tax. We collected $277,000. It's not me doing this. This is all these revenue items that underperform. We also budgeted $600,000 for the vehicle licenses. We collected $241,000. That's $300,000 in revenue that we did not collect. That's not me that didn't collect that. And then we budgeted $900,000 for building permits. We collected $302,000. $302,000. Those are just 4 items that went into underperforming revenue. Our revenue enhancements allowed us to do a possible surplus in this year's budget. But if we look at all of these items, these revenue items, they underperformed. So I'm not responsible. Wasteful spending cannot do this to a budget.
Mayor, with all due respect, we have multiple attorneys around here. We have unpaid bills. We have people still being reported to us that are not showing up to work. They're still being paid. We've requested for people to leave cars at home, and they're still driving city cars.
What does that have to do with the budget?
It has everything to do with the budget because it's still money being expended. They're spending money in fuel. everything adds up there. You just act like you don't understand money.
I understand
You
money.
don't understand finances.
But how are you blaming me for these revenue items underperforming? How are you sitting here blaming me for this?
Because you're the mayor here, and this council has asked you on several occasions. Am I right, colleagues? Am I right? We've asked on several occasions to get control of spending. This council, we had to hire our own
We
legal
have,
counsel because our attorneys were not forthcoming.
you increased the budget by adding
We did
legal
not.
counsel. Legal counsel is
only by a
all
small margin. It does not compare to the 29 other attorneys that you hired, and some that you just unilaterally hired.
Alderman, that's
We've had
making.
several different attorneys.
Give me a list of the 29 attorneys that I've
I
hired.
use an exaggerated statement, but you have hired.
Why do you use an exaggerated statement, Alderman? Stick to the facts.
No, don't try to hang up on the facts. You understand where I'm going.
Facts matter, Alderman. You saying that
Don't try to
I
hang up on the misinterpretation.
Oh.
Or me being exaggerated.
I'm not gonna talk
You
about
know
you.
exactly what I'm saying.
I'm gonna let you finish, Alderman. I want a list of all the 29.
What I see when I hear 29.
It's not 29, but it's quite a few.
You just said 29 Alderman, Alderman.
Now you want to wordplay. It's
I'm not working. You said that.
Okay, and I just told you I stood corrected. I use that number as a figure of speech.
So-
But you have you hired a significant amount of attorneys.
So-
now we passed that.
Okay, you don't feel like hiring a legal counsel Alderman, which charging us close to $100,000 add to the deficit?
We had to.
Sir,
We had to.
you're missing that point.
Okay.
You're trying to deflect now.
I'm
And
not-
if you're going to deflect, it's not worth continuing this conversation. Thank you, Mayor.